What has driven us to transform the car into a violent space capsule whose abilities require several acres of empty tarmac? You can't measure certain cars today by their 0 to 60 time. That's a carrier pigeon in the age of iPhones. The new ruler requires a runway. It's the same reason we went from the Wright brothers to NASA, from canoe to aircraft carrier, because we, as people, have a drive to take something and master it. And although we've conquered the gasoline engine, extracted every last iota of explosive power, in the modern day, we are simply limited by adhesion.
To ensure there's no advantage for wind, we have to take a final figure from an average of 2 runs in opposite directions down the same circuit, just so that we have a completely legitimate attempt. The existing record for the fastest 0 to 300 by a production car was set by the Koenigsegg Agera R at 14.53 seconds. We've got an extremely fast car behind us, so I'm excited to see how this goes. I've got a sneaking suspicion this is going to go well today, but that's all I'm going to say.
The airport system is kind enough to let us have access to one of their runways. We have basically an 8,000 foot long runway that we're able to run about 7,500 feet on that runway. And we're here today to see what our 7th production Venom GT is capable of running from 0 potentially up to 250 miles per hour. I think on our 0 to 300K, we were around 14 seconds. So that would average out about a second faster than the existing record.
Philip, would you agree?
I would concur. That's a new Guinness World Record.
All right,
Yeah, buddy.
man. All right. Super excited about that.
The world of hypercars is a small one. The Agera R is the invention of a mad scientist. The Porsche 918, the product of obsessed engineers, and the Huayra, the modern equivalent of a sculpture by Leonardo. The Venom GT isn't like that. It's a thrill ride, the fastest, scariest, purest hyper-exotic money can buy. We said it last time, and we'll say it again. All John Hennessey wanted to do was go fast. And according to Guinness, he now builds the fastest accelerating car on the planet.
We've all driven insane stuff, but the Venom is the one that stands out to me. It's like one of the craziest cars I think we've ever featured.
It's a missile. It has the best power to weight ratio of any car I've ever driven. It's rear wheel drive, stick shift, no roof, and it accelerates. You know, those GTRs and stuff, they get off the line. The Venom accelerates in 4th and 5th gear the way that a car that most of us would call fast accelerates in 2nd gear. I mean, it's so crazy that you can't even think about even what you've just done. It's like you were there and now you're there, and okay.
Time travel.
Yeah, that's really it. And you're just glad you've gotten it stopped in time, because that runway, which was long, is now short. You know, it's for scaring your friends and yourself.
Fastest car in the world?
In a straight line, I think the fastest car
fastest
that you could
production
buy
car,
as a package, probably.
Yeah.
You know, production is what you make of it, but you write one check for it, so sure, okay.
So from one adrenaline rush to another, I'm European, so I get off-roading, but rock crawling, climbing, what's that all about?
It's the greatest 8-mile-an-hour adrenaline rush you will ever have.
I think we need to see that.
So here we are,
2014 King of the Hammers. Today is race day. Now, behind me, around me, all over the place are some of the craziest four-wheel drive machines you're ever going to see anywhere on the planet. Now, where a race like Paris-Dakar or Baja 1000 is mainly a desert race, this is kind of the jack-of-all-trades race, right? You've got to be able to run flat out in the desert, you've got to be able to climb rocks up over these mountains, and you also have to be able to maintain your vehicle as far as maintenance, speed, durability, and everything else. We look completely official, we're ready to do this, so let's go talk to some of the drivers and get a look at the cars, man. This is gonna be cool.
King of the Hammers is a race out in the desert. It's probably, they've touted it as one of the hardest races in the world. I probably believe them because I've driven it. It started out as a bunch of friends that just decided that they're gonna have a race around the mountain. And then from there, and then it went from, I think it was a case of beer. That was the winning prize. And then from there, it just escalated into what we see today, where there's, I think it's like 9 years later, and it's just a huge race. It's just, it's a blast.
King of the Hammers, I think, is one of the hardest races in the world. It's a really hardcore one-day race. I know there's other races out there that are multiple days, but for a one-day event from 7 in the morning to 10 at night, I think it's one of the hardest. It's got the best of both worlds, desert and hardcore rocks.
You look at these courses and you're just cannonballing all of these runs. Yeah. And from here, you can't tell. Like, I can't tell that that's 12 feet high.
People just go, oh, that doesn't look that bad, and it just doesn't do it justice.
No, are you literally crawling over? Like, that's not something you could power up, is it?
Yeah, there's no crawling.
Oh, so that's all brute strength.
You just get to a certain position and just floor it,
really
hammer it on, and all four tires are spinning, and you just hope you get up there.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. I mean, I'm looking at them like, I don't even want to walk over there.
We're finding out slowly but surely that this is one of the most demanding off-road events that really in existence. I mean, if you would just look at one of these cars, you would think that they're indestructible, that nothing can stop them. But they can be stopped. They can be sidelined. And some stuff just can't be fixed. That's it.
Now, for what we're all waiting for, start your engines!
So how do you feel?
A little nervous, man, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. It's always the worst part, waiting here for the start. After the start, it's kind of like you're like, relief.
What's your goal today? When do you think you're going to finish the race? Do you have a time? Do you have you know what I mean?
Best we can, pass as many people as we can. So, I mean, that's always the goal. So, we'll see what unfolds.
All right, well, we got you via radio, so we can follow you the entire day.
Cool.
We're going to go to the second pit out. We're going to meet you guys there and see how everything goes.
Cool.
Good luck.
Right on.
Live you. Awesome luck. This is going to be really cool, man.
Next up on Drive.
In this type of race, it really, I think the best quote ever was, you can win seconds in the deserts, but you can lose hours in the rocks. Slow and steady wins the race. I mean, there is a lot of truth to that,